So this renovation is going to triple the living space. And we're not aware of any other single Victorian terrace in the area that has gone down as far as what we have, if at all. The cellar has definitely been the biggest challenge of all. It has held up time in council, it's cost us re-engineering, it's cost us time. She did not have that many grey hairs.
I know, I just actually looked at that. I was like, oh my God.
It's an effort to go up, but it's more of an effort to go down. It was 150% worth it.
It's day one here and things are starting to get really exciting.
We have 4 days to do the complete demo of the house. So we're going to take off the roofing and then the frame and then the floors, walls and everything from the second room back is going to be gone. Big machinery, massive excavation, it's an absolutely massive job. So when those walls come down, I think it's going to be surprisingly a lot bigger than what it's looking like now. Wow.
Where's the back of the house gone?
Can you believe that that space there is just going to be a cellar? They're going to drill all of these screw piles down into the ground, one by one, 60 of them, 6 metres deep, so that we can excavate and put a cellar down here. It's worth that time and effort and the money to be able to have a cellar. Otherwise, it's just going to be a standard Victorian terrace renovation, isn't it? And I reckon now, once it all starts happening, it's going to go up pretty quickly. Yeah.
I now understand why other people don't have basements around here, because it's actually fairly impossible to do.
Tony rang us, he's like, we can't do it, girls, we just can't. And we were devastated because to us, there's no point in doing something unless you can push the boundaries or unless it's different.
The company rolled up with their equipment and the screw piles. We tried to drive the first few in and they just refused to drive in. Sent a different crew in with a different machine, started drilling, found water and went, oh, this is all too hard, and then they left. So I called my commercial concrete crew in and here we are. We didn't listen to anybody else about how hard it was, we just started doing it.
We had to put these big holes in the ground, fill them with concrete, and we had to do that the whole way, like 16 metres back. 60 times or something like that. It was tedious, it was time consuming. It almost broke Tony.
Are you still running on time?
No, we're still 4 weeks behind, but if you took that 4 weeks out, we're exactly on time.
If it was anybody else, they would have just said, nah, too hard, but he was up for the challenge. It is built so solid that it's, I reckon, a bomb shelter, if you ask me. We can't underestimate the value of doing this renovation well, and really, you think you've got 2 houses either side of you. To dig down the way we're digging down, this would be the only property in Albert Park like this.
Oh my God. Hey, oh my God.
Be quiet so I can have a moment. Lysandra, kiss his feet.
There was a company that came along called I Creek Commercial that saved us.
We actually had to just stand back and celebrate. So many times throughout a renovation, you can just be like, right, let's move on to the next thing. And you kind of forget to stop and pause and celebrate those moments.
This is 70 square metres. Yeah. It's another house.
It's turned out to be
huge.
Like a very large square metre home.
This was our dream, and we always said that we didn't care if we didn't make money on this. We just wanted it to be right. And there's so much going on down here. Massive ceilings, it's grand.
This would feel like a mansion in Sydney.
And then we started forming the roof for the cellar, and it was like, oh, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. We've managed to get the structure of the cellar done, and it's giving us a really good perspective on how the space is going to be used. Wow, Tony, it looks so good since we've been here last.
Yeah, it's not just a cellar, it's 4 rooms.
This is going to be the selling point, and we hate doing projects that are just like normal, and this isn't normal. Good job.
The
cellar was obviously poured from concrete slab. We didn't touch the cellar walls. Once the concrete was poured, we left them completely rustic. It needed to feel like it had been down there for 130 years. We curved the ceiling, we've cladded it in these gorgeous false bricks from Beaumont tiles.
Wow.
Do you like what I did yesterday? Yeah, I'm kind of glad to say I helped with that. 5 bricks. I'll get stuffed. Cannot wait to see that pendant go up. It's going to look awesome. These are a few of my favourite things. When the pendant gets hung, when the floor gets glazed.
These fumes are getting to our head, I think.
We were able to gain storage in the cellar also. So under the stairs as you walk down, we've got quite a lot of storage really under there. We've got shelving and then you can go through the back and you can put your bigger items like golf clubs, skis, surfboards. I think that this space is actually very valuable. The wine racks are going in. They just need to be filled with wine, but we'll leave that to the end because otherwise we'll drink it all and we won't have any left to reveal. We've gone for a rustic timber feature around the wine cabinetries.
And how many bottles of wine?
I think there's about 400 bottles of wine.
So about 300 by the time we're done unpacking.
That cinema room excites me because I can picture it. I can picture the adults entertaining in the cellar and I can picture the kids just watching their movies and even adults. I mean, it's not just for kids.
We've got a massive, massive, massive screen going on this wall with sound systems, projection.
You could actually lose your kids for the weekend. We've used CDK stone on the kitchen back there and it's just so fitting. Okay, so behind the fridge needs to get painted, the fridges can go in. We've got La Bear wine fridges down there. Given that this house is full of luxuries, we thought why not put a zip tap downstairs? Because people might not drink, so they're gonna need carbonated water, aren't they? Sparkling or mixers. This is the fun little basin that we're going for in the toilet. The basin in the toilet from Reese, it's playful, it's not too serious. With the tapware in the bathroom down there, we decided to stick with the same gunmetal tapware that we used upstairs in the main bathroom, just for that continuity. Obviously downstairs for the cellar, everything's kind of neutral, so I just kind of wanted to continue that through the bathroom. A lot of people at home get put off by thinking that a wall tile and the floor tile are going to be boring if you use the same, but we use the same floor tile and wall tile a lot in projects and it works. So I thought we could use that for the cellar.
I like it because it blends in with the concrete floor.
We've got a big screen projected from the ceiling. It all feels like a proper theatre room.
So how much longer is the reno going to take? Are you nearly done, Matt? We're 1 week off, aren't we?
How do you dress a cellar? Glassware and wine and music. And then we're ready to party, woo! We ordered a whole heap of glassware from Zinui. It just sets the scene. We wanted this space to be an entertainer's area. You could have a dinner party down there. So we found this awesome table from Curious Grace.
It's going to be our entertaining hub as well, so it needs to seat a lot of people.
So essentially it just slides out from the very end of the table.
Okay. Oh, good. So you only get the one join.
And so it just clicks back into place. And then that clicks in.
Wow, that's huge. It just screams parties to me. It's actually a 2-metre table, but it extends to 3 metres. So we've got bench seating either side as well. And we've got the most gorgeous chandelier over it. It is so fitting. There's lots of different ways to display wine. I think it just gives that a little bit of visual interest and it makes your eye kind of do this around the room. And for the avid wine lover, they can put their favourite wines on display. So as you know, we always love to add a little bit of history into a space. I think it makes a personal touch. This is a perfect piece given the fact that we found it while we were excavating. How old is it? It's like be over 100 years old, easy. Tony! Tony!
I've been looking for that everywhere and you guys are screwing around with it down here.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon back. No, up a bit. No, like towards us.
And we now know why this house has taken so long to build.
It feels like a cinema because we've got this black heavy drapery around the walls, gorgeous LED lighting, and it's moody and it's dark, and we've painted the ceilings dark. We've got La Forma chairs and they're perfect. Absolutely, it's the most comfortable chairs to lay on.
We are not sitting on this until this whole house is done because we will not get up.
You walk past the street, you go, oh, that's a really cute little home. Just such a surprise. That's how you best describe this place. The biggest surprise of all will be this cellar, because I don't think anybody would ever expect to go into a property like this and walk down the stairs and see that. We have created a space for the entertainer. I can envisage so many nights around the table, drinking beautiful wine with your friends.
And
Cinema room,
a
watching TV.
lot of sore heads as well the next day.
Probably, and do not blame us for that. The kitchen, living, dining and backyard was definitely the space that took us the longest to plan.
We've got a 7.2 metre kitchen along this wall, and then we've got the island running this way. Didn't we discuss having an occasional chair? I've got rid of that for now, but I think once everything's in, and this is the beauty about playing around, that will be going back in.
The Design Joy series, proudly brought to you by Luxaplex.